It's like another reason why I don't want to send you the Alex Serves Tea content until I clean it up from all the nasty things I said.
Oh, God. You were talking smack?
It was like half smack, half
Concern.
no. I did the percentages wrong. It was like 90% concern, 10% smack.
Got it.
Because most of
That's fair.
Most of it was internal. Or I was hiding it through the anger because I didn't want to freak her out. I didn't want her to be like also like, what a great story. I was on a podcast and we didn't know where the host was. He died.
His dog was
I would
eating
go
his
on without
eyeballs.
you. I would be that famous podcast girl whose co-host died, and I would go on and on and on without you.
I don't blame you. Do it, girl. Oh, my God. Well, did we talk about this already?
On the telephone, because I was literally going to slap you. I was going to get a plane ticket. I was going to go online, get out my credit card, buy a plane ticket, get on a boat, rent a car, go to Boston, get on the airplane, go to Ohio, call your sister, ask for your address, so you wouldn't have time because you're a mile apart.
Right.
Or, you know what? No, I follow you on Google. So I follow you on Find My Friends, find your apartment, bang down the door, slap you, get back in the car, go to the airport, and go home.
Head home. Yes.
I forget what I was talking about.
Had we had a big show scheduled and a very special guest all lined up and ready to go. And meanwhile, I really haven't been taking good care of myself and started a new job, and things were just building up and I was run down.
Building up with no foundation.
Truth. And after work, it was a Tuesday or a Friday? Tuesday night. And dozed off in the recliner like a fucking 95-year-old grandfather.
Actually, 95-year-olds sleep less than they've ever slept in their entire lives. They barely sleep. What you're looking at is probably around 75, 70, 80.
Really?
Yeah, they don't sleep. They do not sleep. They can't. They're dying. Their body's breaking down. There's no time. There's no sleeping. Google it. Google how much does the average 90-year-old sleep?
Well, I hope that's not the
cat naps. You were not a cat napping. You were dead to the world.
Dead to the world. Literally. Well, I mean, it doesn't, obviously my phone's always on silent, but so I finally roll over at like 1 a.m. maybe. When did I finally text you? Like 12:30, 1 a.m. And I'm like, of course, where am I? What the fuck happened? There were probably like 10 or 12 phone calls, maybe a couple FaceTimes, and probably at least 10 text messages from you.
It was 6 and I gave up. I think it was 6 texts and I gave up. Probably about 14 calls.
Yeah.
2 FaceTimes, 14 calls, 6 text messages.
And just the overwhelming guilt and like gross feeling and worry.
I get obviously the gross feeling.
For like that you were, I'm like, oh my God, I caused like this worry and anxiety and this unprofessionalism for our guest, and like, just this like overwhelming sense of all of those things.
I'm going to stop you because you need to stop.
Yeah.
Slow your roll. You were in the rat race world where, I'm sorry, sometimes that shit matters. That world, this spiritual happy best friend podcast fun time, you know, that can be shit on sometimes, so that the rat race Nate doesn't lose his goddamn apartment because he likes it a lot.
I do have to make money somehow, right?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know, but I don't
too much
like
pressure on yourself.
Yeah. I don't like to not show up for my commitments.
90-year-olds
No
experience
offense.
insomnia and trouble sleeping. How much does a 90-year-old sleep?
Tell us.
Daytime sleepiness.
Daytime. Well, that's
underlying
the thing.
Health concessive daytime sleepiness disorder in adults may be a symptom of health issues like sleep apnea, cognitive impairment, and cardiovascular issues or stroke victim survivors. I made that last one up.
Lies. Yes.
I made the last one. No, it says that they doze in and out of sleep during the day. They don't sleep at night. It's like a problem, especially with Alzheimer's and shit. Anyway, I was just making a joke, and then I, for some reason, wanted to make it literal, which is the exact opposite of a joke. So, Nate's okay.
Got you. Everything's cool. I'm committing to focusing on myself and being healthier and having a better balance in life. And it's now been a week, and I went grocery shopping and got a lot of fruits and vegetables, proteins. I've been just focusing on me a little bit more.
Good, and I hope that that lasts.
Doctor's appointments lined up.
Okay, good.
Just to make sure everything's good, and we're gonna be okay.
And I did the damn thing with Alex Serves Tea, so we're good.
Most important part, Chelsea.
No, it's not. The most important part was that your dog wasn't eating your dick off. That was the most important part.
Well, that's true. Second most important part, Chelsea took the bull by the horns and didn't miss a beat. And you will hear that episode soon. Actually, you heard that episode last week with our friend Alex Serves Tea.
Time travelers.
We're time traveling podcasters.
Thank you for buttering
here.
the time traveling podcast. This is Chelsea and Nate. We'll see you next time. Please watch out when you exit the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
I think this episode deserves right into the topic.
Right into the topic. And
I really do.
The title, is that what we're calling it? The title of
the name of the episode. The name of the
episode, yeah, is true. Parental advisory.
Meaning our parents.
Parents. Kids, take your parents out of the room.
Yeah.
And
this is for the divorced children only. Adult of child divorce.
Adult children of divorce.
Divorced children
Yes.
of devoured parents of children that are now deceased in divorce. Thank you. Amen. Body of Christ.
Amen. Thank you. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Yes. I want to start by saying it came up briefly, and I can't remember what episode it was, but I said that until recently, I didn't think that my parents' divorce affected me at all. And you laughed.
I'm so sorry about that.
No. And now
I'm working on that. I'm working on it.
Like, it makes sense to me why you laughed, because I was naive about the impact that it had on me until recently.
I think you just had a coping mechanism that you developed as a young child to purvey the fact that you were okay because your mom was hurt, right?
Yeah.
So you have probably felt like you were the man. It was just you and your sister. You probably had a female dog. At that point, you were the man of the house. You had to put your feelings deep down, right? Decompartmentalizing.
And my sister left for college.
Right.
Not shortly thereafter, but a few years after. So then it was just me and my mom.
Okay, so now you have to be the one to make sure she crosses her T's, dots her I's, and she's off to work and everything's good. The Bill's mom, did you do this? I'll help you with that. Blah, blah. There's no time or room or space for you to feel what's going on inside and how you're being affected by it. So why the fuck? That's a perfect mechanism in my book. I mean, If I could decompartmentalize the day to day, I'd be a lot happy. Zoloft would be making a lot less money. It's not the healthiest way to take care of it, but it worked because you didn't realize that you were being affected by your parents' divorce tragically at 14.
And then
until you were 40.
Pushed down for so long, then it's just easy to forget about. Then it's never been brought up, not discussed, not related to any other things that happened in my life, and it's just gone, forgotten, and never discussed again.
I have something to tell you. When you meet your husband and say he's 10 years younger, wants kids, changes your mind, not that you're opposed to it either, you just thought, I'm 40, this might not happen to me, which let me tell you, fucking men can just go on and have kids, especially gay men. You can have a kid at 90. Give it a good 10 years and see you later. Sorry about it.
If I find the right person and they are adamant about being a father, like, I'm down. I just need a partner who will be an equal as a father, because I don't think that I can do it alone, but with the good partnership, I'm down.
100% you couldn't, because your brain is not as smart as a female. I'm so sorry, people, if science is annoying you and your ego. But it's science that women are smarter than men. The reason is because we have to stay the fuck home with all the kids. That drive us crazy.
Yeah.
So two dum-dums trying to raise a female?
You will be
overthrown. You will be a you two men together equal a single mother.
Yeah, I don't.
And she can handle that shit. And she could handle that shit. So you guys will be just fine. But it would be, but that's okay. People have a hard time accepting that women are smarter than men. This is true. But there's a reason why we're not doing the sewers, because we're smart enough to say, you guys go ahead and do that. We're not
can
strong
have
enough.
That one. Yeah. Oh gosh.
Because we're smart. And we still figured out a way to work.
Yeah.
We still figured out a way to go back to work and get our shit done. And we're still raising your kids. And we don't go crazy doing those two things. Women.
Do you feel like, as a mom who works from home, do you...
Barely, but yeah.
How, what percentage of your day are you actually able to focus uninterrupted on?
Never, because you're constantly being interrupted by thought.
Yeah. Being
a parent is like having a new download in your brain that of an information, and you have to constantly remember that of that information. The information being, I have a son and I have to keep him alive, and you can't ever unthink that. Not for a second.
So you're like watching 40%, 45%, if we're using your download analogy. Is that what you're saying? Like receiving information?
It's just like when you know something, like I know the alphabet. I'm going to know it forever. I don't have to think about that every second. It's not relevant. Yeah. But I downloaded being a mom. I'm making it's like a new part of knowing, learning something new. I'm just using the terminology of download. And then you can't ever not think about that part where you have to keep them alive. So I don't have any time alone mentally. I fucking even think about them when I'm meditating.
It's tough. That's tough, because mental focus and mental exhaustion is more exhausting than physical exhaustion to me.
100%, because your brain will make you exhausted in your body. Even if you're just mentally exhausted, your body will start to be exhausted too. It's all connected. That's 100% true. My whole point of this whole discussion that we took a turn was that your parents' divorce is not relevant. You never talk about it. You don't hear about it. You guys don't bring it up. If and when you meet somebody and you want to have children with them, it will come up.
Right.
Every 5 minutes. Ask your sister.
Really? That's surprising
because they want to know. They
but I believe it. Yeah.
Oh, so like, because the kids have relationship with both sides evenly. So it's like, Mima, I was just at Peepaw's house.
Yes.
And Peepaw's this and Peepaw's that and Peepaw's this and Peepaw that. And Mima's like, shut the fuck up. I don't even want to talk about my ex-husband.
Right.
And then he comes up and then they're like, okay, well, how was your father? Did everybody was he a nice kid? Did he have everything he needed? Did he have a bottle? Did he have, it's just not that my mom does that, because she doesn't at all. But you can imagine your brain hearing your mother say something out of curiosity, and you take it as a 6-year-old asking you to basically tell on your father.
Yes.
Whoa, I just unlocked like a big trigger.
Yeah.
I just okay, so it's like when either one of my parents asks a question about my other parent, how is your mom doing? I'll take it as, tell me everything your fucking mom did wrong this week.
Yes.
Like, even though they were genuine.
Right. Are you talking present day with Tommy?
Oh, God, yeah.
Are we going back there?
Oh, I'm talking going back there, but that happened.
Okay.
But it still happens now.
Yes.
Me. My mom will say, "Oh, how did Tommy have fun with Nani and Poppy?" And I'll be like,
"Got it."
The fuck? Of course he did. You don't believe anything that goes on around there. But because I hear her saying, "Did he really have as much fun as he has here?" Because when you're a kid, whether or not your parents were doing that, because my parents didn't do that. Like I mean, my stepfather did. But I rarely heard my dad talk bad about my mom. My mom didn't talk bad about my dad. It was just my stepdad causing all this drama. But even if they did, whether they did or they didn't pin themselves against each other on me, I still felt that way. It's impossible for a child to not feel that. You'd have to take us all on vacation and act like you're still married in order for me to not feel like I'm being used on one another.
Yes.
And kudos to those families 100%. Who do, because there are families that do that.
There are. That is
beautiful.
Remarkable to me. Yeah.
And then the step parents too. I have goosebumps because I'm so jealous of it.
That is truly when they say like, oh, in the best interest of the children or in whatever scenario. That is so strong and remarkable to be able to do that for the kids.
I think it's selfish I think it's selfless. I think it's selfless if there was like cheating involved.
Oh yeah, to put everything just aside.
And I also think that that's like a form of self-torture and self-pity and self-dwelling, and it ends up probably, I'm not a psychiatrist, this is literally called unqualified opinion, so just remember that. But I would assume that it could make you like, you cannot have a poker face that entire time. You're gonna snap.
No. Right,
either mentally or like on your kid, your patience will be running thin because you've been with your fucking cheating ex all weekend, and then you're gonna snap somewhere. It might be it might be scary. That's why they don't do it. Those families don't do it. They can't. It's not worth it.
No. You look so pretty today. And your headphones and your like, you look good.
Well, thanks. I was I was gonna totally like brush it off and all this stuff, but I got a voice that just said, "You just say thank you." That's all you got to do. It's not a conversation. Yeah. He didn't open up a conversation. He didn't even ask you a question.
Right. I just had to put it out there.
And today, I had another moment of growth. Drew was in the kitchen, and he said, "Why is the microwave unplugged?" And in my brain, inside, I gave my answer that I'd always give lately with my, like, I've been really uptight the past, like, couple years I'd say, since I gave birth, I've been uptight. But I said, in my head, I told you yesterday I fucking plugged it in a new outlet. Just turn your head 3 inches and you'd see the fucking thing. But instead I said, oh my goodness, literally quote, "Oh my goodness, you must have forgot. It's behind the fridge now."
That is.
And then I can't even give it to him. I said, "Did you hear that? Did you hear me say it calmly?" He's like, "What?"
Of course.
I said, "Normally I'd say the fucking thing." And I told the whole bit. And he goes, "Oh yeah, you'd normally be a fucking cunt." Yeah. And you weren't. Thank you for that. And he was like acknowledging it.
That is true growth. Oh, that's amazing. I
am so afraid of divorce.
I know.
I am so afraid of this man leaving me.
So you get to a point, right? I would imagine before marriage that in a relationship that goes away, right? But like you don't have to tiptoe around and say like, "Oh, I hope he doesn't break up with me," like for getting married.
Well, I've said this before in the pod.
Yeah.
What you just said, I've said it before that there is this feeling of like, I don't have to worry anymore. I don't have to stay up late anymore. I don't have to worry about where he is. That's like the day-to-day mundane, like, is he cheating on me? Is he, did he relapse? Like, there's like all these like different, is he flirting? Is he talking to somebody at the bar? And that's why he's not coming home, or like, I don't know. Does he love me the same way? Is it because there's a new person that he met? Like, am I fat? Does he not? I could go on and on. Like, those don't count. I'm talking about like a real fear of him saying, "I want a divorce." There's like, it's just because I do feel secure, like you just said. I wonder if that ever goes away.
Yeah,
it did.
Yeah.
For me, like the cheating stuff went away as soon as we got married. And like us not being together, it's not like a fear of mine. It's in this weird. This is so hard to explain. So like, because we're married, so it'd be really hard for him to like go through the trouble of getting a divorce. It would like really fucking suck.
Right.
Like,
right.
It's expensive, but all of that goes away. All the rationale goes away about being married, and everything feels hunky dory now because I'm so afraid of divorce that it's just that word and just like an instant fear. Like I'm afraid of it being like this. It's gone.
That brings up a good point because we're looking at divorce from having experienced it as children, but obviously there's the side of our parents as well, or any parent who goes through a divorce. And I'm sure just that feeling of defeat and heartbreak and everything else comes along with ending a relationship, a marriage nonetheless, that you thought would last forever, and when there are kids involved. So I'm sure it's just devastating on another level, obviously, for them as well.
My examples of divorce are pretty swift. So I think by the time my mom found out about her situation and that there was going to be a filing of divorce, like when she got served, or if she served him, I don't know. But whenever that was like decided, I feel like I was out of that house pretty quickly. My mom and I were on our own. I don't know where we went right away. I'm not sure. Probably. We definitely couldn't be with my grandparents because they lived in an elderly home at the time. My great-grandfather was a veteran, and they moved into a retirement community. So like early, like way before the retirement age.
Yeah.
Like I think he just turned 65 and they were like, "Peace out." Like, but yeah, so I don't know where we went right away. I really don't. Nobody talks about that stuff because it's like so sad. And like, think about being 24, 25, 26 and having a 3-year-old and being like, I don't want to love this person anymore. And I can't be with them anymore. And my child's only 3.
Yeah.
Like, even if you're the one that broke the heart or you're the one whose heart was broken, it fucking sucks because you have a 3-year-old who can know what's going on. Like, I probably knew what was going on.
Yeah.
But it was swift. And then my mom my mom's a beautiful, wonderful person. She went through her own stuff as a child.
Yeah.
And as we all do. So, like, I look back at that time in her life and I think, wow, if I ever had a child in those years, I have not a leg to stand on. Well, my alcoholism and how I was a hot fucking mess and like a chameleon and didn't know where I belonged to what and lied all the time and constantly stole. That person, my mom would be like a mom again because I would have needed her to take the custody of the kid. So it would have been a whole fucking thing. So I don't even imagine. I can't imagine any of that. So there's this. So where I've come from, this whole entire podcast is not coming from judgment. It's coming from how it affected me. Because the truth of the matter is that these things happened, whether or not they were with ill intent or if they were self-serving intent. Girl's got to serve herself, right? She's got to have her cake and eat it too. You have to live happy. You can't be a happy mom and be a miserable person.
Right.
Like,
can't be in a miserable relationship and
be a happy mom or be a good parent. Right. Yeah. Either one. I'm just talking about my mom specifically right now. Yeah. So there's no judgment. It's just, this is how it affected me. Because whether or not you want to admit it, those things happened. Children are affected. And as an adult, it's not like a boo-hoo fucking my parents got divorced. I don't think about it on the daily. The reason why it comes up a lot is because things that it affect now my day-to-day. So my mom got married again 2 more times before I was 6. And then she got married again a couple of years ago to like the love of her life. She's very happy now. And it's Mike. Like he's most.
Or is it Mike or Matt?
Matt, but it's not your fault. You didn't meet him. No. But yeah, so for me, the fear of divorce comes from how quickly I can see it. Sorry. For me, the fear of divorce comes from how quickly it can come and go. And I'm not taking it for granted. Like, I understand that I could wake up tomorrow and there could be like a slow decline in my marriage that I could pinpoint and watch it go all the way down to till I self-destruct. I'm so afraid for the other shoe to drop because I'm so happy.
That's so. I kind of have 2 questions. There was some. So your mom had 2 pretty quick relationships after she divorced your dad. Do you?
One
remember?
Relationship.
Yeah.
And then the other one she was with for a long time, 6 years.
Okay.
Yeah. There was one quick one and one lengthy one, but the marriages were not far apart. Does that make sense?
Got it. Yes. So essentially the first one was short. Quick. The second one was long, but they happened kind of back to back because the first one was short.
Right.
Okay. So do you...
Are we high?
I don't know.
Are we high?
Shit out of our... I'm not high. Are you high?
No, I wish I was.
I know.
I mean, I pop a CBD, whatever that does.
Yeah. Do you remember thinking that was normal at the time? Or that you would kind of have just stepdads a lot?
I didn't.
And/or
I never accepted a motherfucker.
Yeah.
I was always in trouble. Because I had a big, bad attitude. I cried a lot.
Yeah.
I cried a lot. Because I would push boundaries. I was horrible. I was hurt. And I didn't think it was normal. No, I did not think it was normal to get married and get divorced. I knew what divorce meant. And I knew it wasn't good. And I knew it wasn't fun. And I knew it wasn't pretty. And I knew it wasn't, you don't get married to get divorced. I knew that. I mean, you can see your mom go through it twice and you see how sad it is. I didn't see my mom go through her first one, but I did, but I don't remember.
Right.
So I didn't never think it was normal. In fact, I thought the opposite.